Did you know when she welcomed and hid these spies? Listen. She was literally putting her life on the line. Some of us can't even share invitation to the Journey to Joy Bible Conference on the internet. She had a faith, even though she didn't know everything. She had a faith that put her life on the line, and she welcomed and she hid the spies. She obeyed God in spite of what it might cost her. We don't have the wisdom to know who's saved or who's not saved. Because real faith is doing what God says to do in spite of what it costs you. So real faith is more than what you say, more than what you feel, more than what you think, more than what you believe. But real faith, like Abraham, is doing what God says do, even in those moments that don't make sense. But real faith is doing what God says do, even if it costs your life. And his name was Sempronius. Sempronius lived in the Dark Ages, and he was a centurion, and he worked for the government that sought out and destroyed Christians. He would take his 100 men, they would seek out, and there were those Christians in the Dark Ages that banded together, and they hid up in the mountains, and they hid in little cottages and little things. And he and his band of 100 men, they would seek out, and then they would literally kill all of the Christians who continued their faith during the Dark Ages. And one day, he captured this group of Christians and he wanted to make mockery, and so he killed all the children first. Left them there. He killed the women. Left them there. Then he says, let's have fun. Evil was all in him, but he was just obeying the government. He says, I'm going to take the men up to the mountain. And it was the start of winter and very cold up on the mountain, and they had snow-capped mountains. And he told his men to build a fire. He brought the 40 men that were captured, and he says, it's going to get real cold, and I'm going to spare the lives. You guys keep on talking about how great your God is. We're going to see how great your God is. But I bet every one of you will renounce God because not you. You're going to freeze to death. We'll see how deep your faith is. But he says, if in fact you renounce your God, it gets too cold, he goes, I'm going to spare your life. Well, the sun set. The men who were still trauma-stricken over the loss of their children and their wives, tears, but they encouraged each other in the Lord, and they locked arms. And they began to chant 40 faithful soldiers are